News with Faye. Hello everyone, I'm Faye. Today, the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell blocked the Cash Act, which would increase stimulus check payout from $600 to $2,000 per person. What he blocked was a request for unanimous consent for the act from the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
That the bill be read a third time and passed, the motion to reconsider be considered, made, and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Is there objection to the modification?
Object.
Objection is heard.
A unanimous consent enables a bill to pass without a recorded vote at the Senate, but the procedure allows for an objection by a single senator. McConnell did not explain why he blocked the legislation. He controls which bills are brought to the Senate floor for a vote, apart from those ones put forth for unanimous consent. President Trump tweeted after McConnell said that unless Republicans have a death wish, and it is also the right thing to do, they must approve the $2,000 payment ASAP. $600 is not enough. Surprisingly, McConnell introduced his own version of the pandemic relief bill. In the McConnell's version of the bill, the relief check payout was also increased to $2,000, but he also introduced a voter fraud commission and asked to drop the Section 230. This is an interesting turn McConnell made. Just recently, he declined to back Trump's request to challenge the election results, and he began referring to Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden as the president-elect. Why did McConnell do so? In contrast to his action on the Cash Act, McConnell went against Trump's wish and urged Senate Republicans to override Trump's veto on the defense bill and pass it with a supermajority. The reason is to follow the tradition of passing the bill is far more important.
And yet for 59 consecutive years and counting, Washington has put our differences aside, found common ground, and passed the annual defense bill. Not once in 6 decades has a Congress let its differences prevent it from completing this work for our national security and our men and women who wear the uniform.
In other words, no matter how bad this bill is, we still should pass it for the sake of tradition. Wow, what a weird response from the top Senate Republican. Last week, Trump vetoed the defense bill and called the bill a gift to China and Russia. Trump also argued in his tweets the defense bill is really weak, and the Senate Republican leaders are just pushovers when they come to big tech and Democrats. And Trump tweeted Senate should not approve the defense bill until fixed. So is this how McConnell showed his true color to Trump? And why is he so eager to give this gift to China and Russia? Is there any further reason for him to do so? Peter Schweizer, the author of Clinton Cash, said in an interview, if you list the positions of Senator McConnell on the China issue over the past 2 decades, guess what? You'll be very shocked. He has become more and more serious on the issues related to China's Communist Party. Why? Keep watching, you'll find it out. In our latest show, do you remember we mentioned that it is pretty well known that when CCP was targeting someone, if they can't get to that person directly, they will start with their family members. If their family members become compromised, it will be much easier to control their target. So what about McConnell's family? Senator McConnell's wife, the 2-time U.S. Transportation Minister Elaine Chao, has deep connections with the CCP. Elaine Chao's father, James Chao, founded the foremost group now valued at $1.2 billion, the most valuable of any dry bulk shipper headquartered in the United States. An interesting fact, James Chao was born in Shanghai. He and the former CCP head Jiang Zemin went to the same university. Imagine how he could leverage that relationship when he was doing business in China. In 2008, when Elaine Chao was the Labor Secretary during the George W. Bush administration, James accompanied Elaine to China, sitting in at least one of the most important meetings with China's then premier. In fact, from 2008 to 2017, Elaine Chao made at least 4 trips to China under the name of her father's company, while she was holding official positions in the U.S. departments. James and Angela Chao, Elaine Chao's sister, joined the board of directors of China National Shipbuilding Corporation CCSC Holdings in 2007 and 2008. CCSC Holdings is of course the CCP's state-owned corporate. It is China's largest defense contractor, and the major projects it supports will enable CCP to aim for its target, to have China's Navy power surpass the US Navy power by 2030. So without any surprise, the CCP not only built ships for the Chow family, but also provided extremely low interest loans for the Chow family, helped the family buy big ships, and even provided crews for the ships, as well as the large shipping contract for the CCP's state-owned enterprises on the Pacific route. To put it bluntly, the CCP is giving money to the Chow family, like how it handles the Biden family's lucky money. Also in 2008, a gift to Miss Chow and Mr. McConnell from Father James Chow made McConnell the richest member of the Senate, according to the New York Times. Here, a question needs to be asked. For McConnell's tie to China via his in-laws and his wife, would it be the deciding factor making him so near to announce Biden's win, when the election fraud issue is still in such a muddy state? What else would it be for him, the Republican leader in the Senate, turned against Trump in such a blunt manner so unexpertly? Well, that's what we saw. Peter Schweizer said, McConnell knows very well that his family's future wealth is closely related to whether the CCP government is satisfied with his performance and his sincerity to the CCP government.
If Mitch McConnell were to do something the Chinese didn't like, they could destroy that family business.
So, will the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell be called as one of the CCP's old friends in the US? As Steve Bannon said, we don't engage in conspiracy theories, but we don't believe in coincidences either. The CCP's blue golden method are both secret and changeable. They laundered large amounts of money in a legal way to bribe American politicians and their families from all walks of life. Hunter Biden, Congressman Eric Swalwell, California Governor Gavin Newsom, Georgia State Governor Kemp, and so on. There are more politicians who will be exposed. And yes, we will come to that later. So keep supporting our channel and we will do that together. Subscribe if you haven't done so, click on the notification bell and give me a thumbs up. The next suspected CCP compromised Washington figure, surprisingly, maybe not, would be the very Nancy Pelosi. In 2018, in a National Pulse report, Pelosi's communication director for almost 10 years, Brandon Daly, after finished working for Pelosi in 2012, he was registered as a foreign agent for China Central Television Network America, that is CCTV America, which is no doubt their mouthpiece to spread propaganda for CCP. In the contract, Daly's role is to provide strategic counsel, identity-relevant parties to communications activities, and media relations to support the launch of CCTV America. Apart from her staff, Pelosi's family is also compromised by the CCP. Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, who is the founding director of Matthews International Capital Management, MICM, which manages various investments in Asia, including Asian Growth and Income Fund, China Dividend Fund, Pacific Tiger Fund, and China Fund. Specifically, the China Dividend Fund, since its launch in November 2009, has an average annual return of close to 11%, compared with Morgan Stanley's China Index, which had a fall of 0.6%. In 2013, MICM's performance was among the top 5% in China. The reason why MICM was performing that well, maybe it was because the CCP made that happen in order to bribe the Pelosi family. Apart from Pelosi's husband, her son Paul Pelosi Jr. is also tightly connected to China. He even wished the CCP happy birthday and openly showed off their close ties on Twitter. No wonder Pelosi has a net worth of $29.35 million, which ranks her the 15th wealthiest member of the Congress. How do you think these two politicians? Please leave a comment below. Alright, lots of information for today, right? If you like it, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Thank you for watching Beyond the News with Faye. I'm Faye. I'll see you very soon.